Hi and welcome in our channel Alive Inc. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe for our future videos, and thank you very much in advance.
Colleen Hoover, a name synonymous with bestsellers and a massive readership, has found herself at the center of both adoration and criticism in the literary world. Her books, such as It Ends With Us, Verity, and Ugly Love, have earned her a passionate fan base, especially among younger readers. However, alongside her success, there has been a rising tide of negative sentiment toward her work. Some readers and critics have expressed disdain, with discussions in various online forums, book clubs, and social media feeds debating whether Hoover's books deserve their bestseller status or if they're contributing to a larger issue in modern fiction. Why do we hate Colleen Hoover? The reasons are multi-layered, ranging from stylistic choices and repetitive themes to more significant concerns about the portrayal of sensitive issues. In this video, we'll explore the various criticisms, break down the key arguments, and aim to understand the root of the negativity surrounding Colleen Hoover. 1. The rise of Colleen Hoover. Success breeds controversy. Before diving into the criticisms, it's essential to acknowledge Hoover's tremendous success. She has consistently topped bestseller lists, and her books have sold millions of copies worldwide. Her success story, which began with self-publishing, is inspirational. Hoover writes novels that blend contemporary romance with heavy, sometimes dark, emotional themes, often resonating with readers going through personal hardships. However, like many who experience sudden success, Hoover's rapid rise has attracted scrutiny. It's almost a universal truth that when an author becomes as popular as Hoover, they invite not only fans, but also detractors. This phenomenon isn't unique to Hoover. Think of authors like Stephanie Meyer Twilight or Yale James 50 Shades of Grey, who have faced similar backlash despite their commercial achievements. 2. Criticism of writing style and quality. One of the most common complaints about Colleen Hoover is her writing style. Detractors argue that her prose is simplistic, often relying on cliches and melodrama to propel the story forward. For readers who prefer more complex narrative structures or richer, more evocative prose, Hoover's books can feel underwhelming. Critics often say her writing lacks the literary sophistication that many seek in contemporary fiction. Hoover's books are often written in a conversational tone, making them accessible to a wide audience. However, some readers feel that this casual, straightforward style leads to flat, unremarkable writing that doesn't challenge the reader or push literary boundaries. Fans of more experimental or genre-defying works may find her books formulaic and predictable. 3. Repetitive themes and characterization. Another frequently cited criticism is the repetitive nature of Hoover's themes. Many of her novels focus on intense romantic relationships, often fraught with trauma, manipulation, or tragedy. While these themes resonate deeply with some readers, others argue that Hoover's portrayal of love and relationships is problematic or redundant. In many of Hoover's works, the relationships are depicted as volatile, with protagonists who are emotionally scarred or involved in toxic dynamics. Critics claim that these characters often follow similar arcs, leading to a feeling of been there, done that for readers familiar with her catalog. The repetition of certain tropes, such as the tortured, brooding male lead or the female protagonist overcoming deep emotional trauma, leads some to accuse Hoover of relying on a formula rather than crafting unique, varied stories. For a problematic representation of sensitive topics, one of the most significant and ongoing critiques against Hoover is the portrayal of sensitive and controversial topics like abuse, trauma, and mental health. While many fans appreciate Hoover's willingness to tackle these heavy subjects, others argue that she handles them in a way that can be harmful or exploitative. For example, in It Ends With Us, Hoover explores the cycle of domestic violence and its emotional toll on victims. While the book has been praised for shedding light on a critical issue, some readers feel that the way Hoover depicts domestic violence is simplistic or romanticized. There are concerns that her treatment of such themes doesn't provide the nuance nuance or depth needed to responsibly address the complex realities of abuse. Critics argue that Hoover tends to use these heavy topics as plot devices to add emotional intensity to her romances, rather than offering genuine, thoughtful engagement with the issues. For some, this results in stories that feel emotionally manipulative, designed to elicit a strong reaction without adequately addressing the deeper societal implications of these topics. 5. Toxic relationships romanticized. A related critique is the accusation that Hoover's novels romanticize toxic relationships. Some of her male protagonists display controlling or manipulative behaviors, which are framed as deeply emotional or passionate. For readers concerned with healthy relationship dynamics, Hoover's depiction of love and romance can seem problematic. Take Ugly Love, for instance, where the male protagonist, Miles, is emotionally unavailable and distant for much of the book. Critics argue that Hoover paints his behavior as a kind of tragic flaw, which the female protagonist, Tate, must overcome through patience and understanding. This dynamic has led to accusations that Hoover's novels perpetuate the idea that love conquers all, even when the relationship is harmful or unhealthy. Some readers feel that her stories normalize toxic behavior, suggesting that the intensity of the emotions involved justifies otherwise problematic relationships. This has raised concerns, particularly in discussions about the messages Hoover's books send to younger readers, many of whom are still developing their understanding of relationships and boundaries. 6. The influence of book talk and hype culture. Another key factor contributing to the backlash against Colleen Hoover is her immense popularity on platforms like Book Talk. Many of Hoover's books have gone viral, leading to a surge in readership, particularly among teens and young adults. However, with this surge in popularity has come the inevitable counterculture of readers who reject what they see as overhyped books. Book Talk and other social media platforms have played a significant role in shaping the modern literary landscape, often catapulting certain authors or books to instant fame. But with the hype also comes a sense of exhaustion or frustration for readers who feel bombarded by the same names and titles over and over again. As a result, Hoover's books constantly appearing on bestseller lists, recommendation feeds, and social media timelines have sparked a kind of fatigue. For some, it's not even about Hoover's writing. It's about the relentless hype machine that surrounds her work. When a book is marketed as a must-read and doesn't live up to a reader's expectations, the backlash can be harsh. The result is often a polarization between those who feel Hoover's books are overhyped and lacking in substance, and those who deeply connect with her stories and characters. 7. Backlash from the literary community. The rise of genre fiction like romance or young adult fiction has often been met with disdain by certain segments of the literary community, and Hoover has not been immune to this. Some critics argue that Hoover's success represents the triumph of commercial, mass-market appeal over literary merit. For purists or fans of more traditionally literary works, Hoover's popularity can feel like an erosion of quality in contemporary fiction. This divide between genre fiction and literary fiction has been ongoing for decades, but Hoover's work, with its massive popularity and emotional intensity, has become a flashpoint in this larger debate. Detractors from the literary world may feel that Hoover's books contribute to the dumbing down of literature, focusing more on emotional manipulation than on artistry or deeper meaning. 8. Fan defensiveness, and the Colleen Hoover army. Lastly, one aspect of the Colleen Hoover controversy is the defensiveness of her fan base. Hoover's readers are fiercely loyal and passionate about her work, often coming to her defense in online forums or on social media. While this is not inherently problematic, it has, in some cases, created a culture of gatekeeping or hostility toward anyone who critiques Hoover's work. This defensiveness can sometimes escalate into aggressive exchanges, where those offering legitimate criticism are met with backlash from die-hard fans. This dynamic creates a further polarization between Team Hoover and her critics, feeding into the cycle of animosity. Conclusion: the love-hate divide. Colleen Hoover is undeniably a force in the literary world. Her books have touched millions, and her ability to craft stories that resonate emotionally with readers is a testament to her skills as a storyteller. However, However, like many successful authors, Hoover has also drawn considerable criticism, much of it centering on her writing style, the repetitive nature of her themes, and the portrayal of sensitive issues. Ultimately, the question of whether Hoover's work is worthy of its popularity depends on individual taste. For some, her books offer comfort, escape, and emotional catharsis, while for others, they represent a larger problem in contemporary fiction. Whether you love or hate Colleen Hoover, there's no denying that she has sparked important discussions about the role of genre fiction, the portrayal of trauma in storytelling, and the impact of viral marketing on literary success. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you all in the next video.